What's good, YouTube? And welcome to Battles of Legend pre-sales. I'm actually going to start this out by saying, first off, this is a live react to both pre-sales. Gamer's Choice and Tier 0 are up. You can use code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly. But before seeing any prices besides what's obviously on the page, I think the way to go in with this is to look at specific quarter-century rares early. We don't know the ratios yet, so you're educated guessing gambling on how Yugi tubers pulled them versus what actual cases might have been handed out. And I don't think Konami loads the boxes or anything like that, but we don't know if it's 2 per case or 4 per case on the quarter century rares, kind of similar to collector rare, or if it's 3. Where it's going to land on average is kind of a mystery. And then also the singles for Battles of Legend, I think this is going to get ripped way open in the hunt for those quarter century rares, despite whatever the ratio may be. Look at last Battles of Legend. However, there are much more meta impacting cards within this battles than the last battles, where it's like, these reprints are good, but Clockwork Knight, what is it actually doing so far? Not the most in the world, although it did a little something. So let's go ahead and just get into the prices. How I like to go on Gamer's Choices, do this, then go high to low so that I can see where things are at. And Masquerena, I did figure 350 to 400 would be fairish. This is going to be mid to max in a lot of people's minds versus the Starlight, and this is about the price that original Masquerena started out at when she was new, and I do think a lot of people will end up be settling for this, and we don't know how many are going to really be, out there versus the ratios and pulls yet, and what other quarter century rares may even loom above this in terms of demand, but this may be the most chased after one, in which case this might be a little underpriced for the set depending on ratios. Assault Synchron, very nice to see a quarter century rare of, might be a little expensive, but people are super hyped for synchros. Max Rarity Sky Striker 200, that also, depending on ratios, might be relatively underpriced, which is why it sold out. And the quarter century Zeus being about half the price the current Starlight as well, just like Masquerena. I see why people went for, Welcome Labyrinth at 150. A lot of people are on this deck. There's so many different ones, but it all comes down to the pull rates, which we don't currently know yet. So again, kind of rolling the dice for people who are buying that, are going, I gotta have it. And quarter century rares are what I would personally be gambling on if I were a gambling man on pre-sales. Rite of Armaseer is also gone at 150. This engine's not the most prevalent in the world anymore, but could come back into relevancy at any time. And Lady Labyrinth also here, it pairs. People would have got both depending if they're going for it. Quick Fix, you love to see it. 1 hour Tournament of Madness, although that's a huge ban list going into it. Very nice to actually see, and a fan favorite to a degree. And it looks like they're just kind of generic hundreding a lot of these. 100 on Dante, 100 on Dark Arm, 100 on this Hydra that got one. Okay. And Ptolemaeus. So it looks like they're just like, well, they can't be too much lower. If they're collector rare-ish, this would be a bit high on every single one. I think if they're collector rare ratios, you'll see a lot fall down to 60s to 50 junk Starlight prices, for example. But if they are like 2 per case, this might be a little more accurate depending. We'll have to wait and see again on those ratios. Now let's go ahead. There's deck cores up next. Sky Striker's the main one's going to be the link. I don't know that you max out on it. Let me know if you're a Striker player down below, but I don't know that you need the max Dex core. Adventure core is interesting, but again, I don't think you're necessarily after everything here. Maybe just Rite of Armaseer. And the punk stuff, yeah, you could use quite a bit of it, I suppose. And at 30, much nicer price considering that's what one Foxy tune used to be going for. Assault Synchron at 30 is atop the set for singles. I was scared this would happen. My mind said 25 personally with how ripped open this will be. And then the alternate art engage at 15. I was thinking 10, but I was thinking towards 15 on Duality. Now Zeus I thought might be more towards $10, $12, kind of like the Mega Pack release, but yeah, this makes sense. You have singles that are more anticipated within the set. Duality and Shadow's Light especially hyped, and that's down at $8 and then $10 for Armaseer. I feel like Armaseer, it's such a good utility card, but it also has, I think, potential to be reprinted if I'm not mistaken in the future too. I forget the Megatons list off the top of my head, but I think it might be in there if I'm not mistaken. I know Tactical Masters is, which is why it's interesting to already see the Labyrinth stuff going how it's going. Let me know in the comment section down below if I am right or not right, and we'll see if we have time to look it up. Then we have Welcome Labyrinth at 8. Not bad, especially for where it was. I was thinking 6s, and then Masquerena towards 8. Yeah, this one gets underestimated whenever it gets a reprint. It feels like that's about right. Water Enchantress, I was thinking 5s. The new E-Hero, I was thinking more. I was thinking it would be 8, 10. You know, the hype on a new E-Hero, it's secret rare. Actually, heroes are seeing play right now. People are saying we're at full power on Twitter on this. I was thinking more 8 to 12, so it's nice to see it $5 here. And the Striker Link by itself towards $5 as well. I think a lot of people will be grabbing that, but I think 5 is about right. Individual Foxy Tune around 5. I was thinking 3 to 4 is where it's going to settle. And then Super Polymerization Secret at 3. Very nice to see considering the commons were around there, and this is a reprint likely to go up over time. But will it be the cheapest you can get it? It's a pretty darn good price, actually. Then the rest, like upgrades like Draco Berserker, I think this will be one of those cards that falls to $1 to $2 for a while. Ibli was actually seeing play within the formats, though, trying to lock opponents and that kind of stuff, and you'd see people play Link Karibo and other outs to it. Secret Rare 3, it's not bad, it's not great, it's about generic kind of pre-sale pricing, and then the rest of these, a lot of 3s, that's where they're trying to get their money in. Junk Archer, I knew should be 2 or lower, I was thinking $1.50, so 2's an appropriate range. Madolche Queen Tiramisu was 8 heading into this, about $1.50 to 2, and it's a rarity upgrade. I think this could go up over time, but how it'll be versus initial ripping open is a question mark. So what you got to remember is this is going to get ripped open in mass for the chase of the quarter century secret rares, and a lot of people are going to be reselling the rest of the cards and their hunt for them, or also, you know, just the amount of these. But these are very good cards, and a lot of them will age well versus this initial. The question is when to buy, and some of these actually seem pretty good even versus that rip openness, where others I think will probably end up going down a good degree, a lot of the cards. Let's go ahead and click on Tier 0, Battles of Legend, and haven't been able to look at this either yet till now. And let's go ahead and go to US dollars for the sake of the general audience, although I know about half of you actually that watch are not from the US. Let's see here. United States, scroll on down. Man, they really offer a lot of currencies now. United States, I remember when it was just like 6. Masquerena, a hair cheaper. Again, code What's Good 5 for 5% off, and to support the channel directly will make all these prices a little bit cheaper. It looks like they're a bit higher on the Assault Synchron, a bit higher on Engage, and yeah, on Dark Arm they're calling it 2 for past formats. A bit cheaper on Zeus though, which was already sold out, and Lady Labyrinth here at just $130, and Welcome Labyrinth at $130. I believe all of those, if I'm not mistaken, are just a bit cheaper than they were over here. So good looking on them so far, a bit back and forth. That's why I love the competition of the sponsors that I have, that like they're winning over here on Gamer's Choice on some cards, Tier 0's throwing back here. You don't want to see one full beatdown on another side, and it does look like Tier 0. Yeah, look, they're going down into the under 100 mark, so I think they're personally preparing for it to be closer to 3 to 4 per case based off of what they saw, but they're still guessing. They haven't had a chance to open this up and see for themselves. Quick Fix at 77, so yeah, and the Hydra at 77. They're not going with the blanket hundreds. Their deck cores do look to be a little bit higher priced, and then yeah, their Assault Synchron up even further here at 39, so they're anticipating that this will be the high demand card, and there is the WCQ, to be fair, around the horizon. That's the one thing we haven't brought up yet. The WCQ, all these cards are legal and playable at it, which can create kind of this super crazy hype for some cards, depending, especially if results are seen within this next month and leading up to the WCQ. So there is that possibility, and I see they went super hype on Duality, past what I thought it would be to a degree. I thought 25 was the max. Here it is at 26, but their exchange rate could be a little bit wonky right now. Divine Arsenal Zeus, they have it 20 also. Yeah, they're kind of, I think, personally a bit high on a lot of the secret rares. For me, this set's going to be so open that the goal should be for the quarter century rares, but they've gone lower on them, thinking that the pull rate will be higher. Even if you up that pull rate, we've got for example, in the deck building sets, there's 15 different collector rares, right? Well, in this, there's going to be over 20 quarter century secrets, and we don't know all of them yet, but we know it's 20 or more. I would guess 25 based on the other sets that are coming, but it says over 20. That means the individual pulls, even if it was the same ratio as the collector rares, would be harder to get individual cards of, depending what it is, meaning they would be upped in price for the specific wanted ones, and while they're going down in price other places, they aren't necessarily up too much in price on the other for the estimated value pulled. And I think they're relying a bit much on the secret rares so far over here versus how Gamer's Choice has taken their approach. So while the quarter century rares are what I would be hunting during this range, which Tier 0 is doing better on, I think Gamer's Choice actually hit secrets, a lot of them, into where I personally would be like, you know what? I would throw that on my order, where a lot of these, a lot of them are over $5, and I think that's kind of too much. The Flame Wingman over here, though, also at 6, so both companies not really taking the look up that I thought that would get initially. That's interesting. Super Poly at 4 as well. Tier 0 is a great option for international shipping and also getting EU print cards, so the 4 is pretty nice to see there, although Gamer's Choice winning on that little one as well. Yeah, I think when it comes down to how everything's priced out, I think the secrets are a bit high on Tier 0 right now, but they're getting bigger wins on the quarter century secrets, where Gamer's Choice seems to have leveled it out and are still selling out of a lot of theirs. So what do you think in the comments section down below of the pre-sale prices? And is there anything you would be picking up immediately during pre-sales, or are you going to wait and hold off on a lot of it? Assault Synchron's kind of my question mark in my head with the WCQ looming, and Duality, especially at the 15. Personally, for me, I think that's pretty well priced on pre-sales for an original card to the set. I think back to like the Chaos Emperor Dragon, although that was a prize card, and how it was shorted and it ended up being 30. That's another question into the mix, right? What is short print and what will end up skyrocketing because it's shorted versus the demand? Good old side sets that have short prints in them still. Yeehaw. Thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. A lot of you all seem to like me reacting to this and then doing my settled down thoughts in a later video. And that is my true, genuine reaction. Like, it's pretty wild, I think, actually, how Gamer's Choice has approached, where Tier 0's gotten more tried and true, yet more calm on the quarter century rares, which, again, during this range, that Zeus is looking pretty good considering it sold out for 200 over there. Thanks for watching, everybody.